Adidas is one of the most innovative running shoe companies in the world. Is their latest offering another step in the right direction? Today, let's explore the Adidas 4DFWD. Hey, what's poppin'? Jordan Thomas here, helping you simplify tech and running to improve your life. Hopefully you and yours are staying safe wherever you're located. Today I'm going to be covering the Adidas 4DFWD. This shoe was provided to me from Adidas, and I want to answer some questions that I know that you have about this overall shoe. So one of the first things that stands out to me and actually has me really excited about this shoe is this foamless midsole. Thanks to some really innovative 3D printing, they use this lattice structure that's very similar to that of like bow tie pasta, frankly. And it's 3D printed and it's stacked on stacked on stack to provide a level of cushioning for runners. The big problem they're trying to address are those runners that spend a great deal of their time running on their heels. And so I'm a big fan of creating products that actually solve meaningful problems. And so this shoe is aimed towards those type of runners. One of the other things that I think is super interesting about this shoe is the overall silhouette. Listen, Adidas really is out here playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers by taking the approach of providing a beautiful shoe that pushes the boundaries in terms of they're not even thinking about foam anymore. They're trying to figure out, all right, how can we use 3D printing as a way to make advances? And that's something I think that's really dope. When it comes to the upper, they're using their Prime Knit Ultra, which to me is another signal that they're really putting their best foot forward in terms of trying to provide an overall shoe that is premium through and through. It's lightweight, it's breathable, it's airy, it's all the things that you want in the upper. I like that the counter is also kind of exaggerated. It's definitely kind of teetering on gladiator sandal type status, but I think that it is certainly a pretty cool thing. The eye lacing structure is definitely like eye-catching with those little pops of red. And one of the things that I think Adidas definitely does well is they find those nice little details, those nice touches that make you say like, oh, this is an Adidas shoe without telling you it's an Adidas shoe. And once you get the shoe on your feet, you can tell that there is a sensation that does help propel you forward and moving in the shoe, and that's thanks to that 3D printed construction. And one of the things that I didn't mention was that they used a lot of different research. I think it was something like 5 million different types of runners' foot strikes in order to find like what was going to be the optimal little component that they would make the overall midsole of. So I did notice that somewhat. It's not like a crazy sensation, but it does feel a bit different. One of the other things I noticed during the run was the overall weight. Now, where I think there certainly is an advancement to get away from foam, well, the thing is, foam versus the material that's used here, foam tends to be a bit lighter. And so if you're looking at this shoe for something that's going to be like for faster efforts, I would say look at this shoe as something that you would use for kind of like non-specific paces. I was able to run kind of like one of my kind of like easier 30-minute days, include some strides. But when it came to trying to like sustain a pace of a harder effort for much longer than a minute, I found that the weight of the shoe, I could definitely feel it in my quads. And so I think that this shoe would be geared towards just someone who just wants to put in some lightweight mileage. I would say also this would really be a good shoe if you want to focus in on your form, take advantage of that ability this shoe will have to help kind of get you off your heels and spend more time working on your overall running mechanics. One other note, and I maybe attribute this primarily to fit, is I did find myself experiencing a few hot spots in both my left and my right foot. And I think that comes from the fact that I probably needed to size down, probably about a half a size in order to get that true fit in terms of the sock-like upper. As much as I tried to get the laces to adjust, there was just a bit of a gap there and I wasn't able to get it as secure as I'd like. So please be sure that you size down if you're looking to pick up this shoe. It is supposed to provide like a sock-like type fit. However, I do think that there's an opportunity for that to be refined just a little bit, particularly like in the laces, because they don't do a really good job of helping you secure yourself in the midfoot. The toe box area is pretty cozy. And also when it comes to support in terms of the heel, I do think there's some additional play there that could certainly have some adjustment. The counter is actually pretty rigid. Surprisingly, despite the lightweight. When it comes to comparing this shoe, I think the shoe that's most like this one in my overall collection would be the Adidas Ultra Boost 21. Not just because of the Adidas, but also because the silhouette is beautiful, and also between those two shoes, I'm not sure like which one's better looking, frankly. They both have high levels of innovation in there. They both offer a fairly similar weight. I will say though that the Adidas Ultra Boost does offer a little bit more of a true to size fit, as well as I would say there's a bit more cushioning So again, in terms of other running shoes, all my other running shoes have cushioning in terms of more like traditional midsoles. This one does not. And so I look at this as another step towards something bigger. Think about the purchase of this shoe as like a concept that's been brought to life. So it would not surprise me that later in the year or the coming years that we don't see more 3D printed type of midsoles showing up in Adidas shoes. So in terms of who I would recommend this for, I would definitely say this is for the person that has a high level of appreciation for innovative running shoes. You find yourself wanting to be an early adopter, wanting to be right there up front when new stuff is coming out. I would say you should definitely take a look at these. In terms of release date, there was already a soft release that happened in May. I believe there's going to be another one in July, right around the Olympics time frame, and then around August, kind of around like podium time. So I like that the overall like rollout that Adidas is planning for these shoes. Now, $199, I know that for some of you that price may or may not be cost prohibitive, but if you find yourself on the side of just wanting to be ahead of technology, then look no further than the Adidas 4D Forward. While there are still a few quirks with the fit and the weight, the 4D Forward is another step in the right direction for Adidas and running shoe innovation. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, come on now. We got a good thing going on here. You stayed this long, you might as well come back for the next video. If you want to check out another running shoe video, check this out. And if you want to check something else out, check this out. I'll see you next time. Jordan Thomas. Peace.